had a teacher one time. I think it was the 3rd grade. It could have been the 4th grade. I remember my teacher from the 5th grade, and she would not have done something as cool as this. Now I remember, it was whatever grade that you stay all day in and just switch subjects whenever the teacher said so, or whatever. I don't feel like this was just an art class, but I only remember doing artsy stuff. I remember a cut and pasted jack-o'-lantern that was pretty fresh. He had a pipe and a top hat. Oh, also, that was the class that I remember we had a party, and the teacher said we could bring our own music from home. I brought Stevie Wonder Ribbon in the Sky on 45. Anyway, I know that was the class, but I don't remember the grade. Sorry. All that was important because school is important, and the point that I'm getting to, I learned in school. So, here we all are in my 3rd or 4th grade classroom, and the teacher says to us that we are about to draw self-portraits. She explains to us what a self-portrait is, and now, this is where it gets interesting. She proceeded to give us examples on how to make our self in the picture. She said things like, I don't see that any of you have slits for mouths and dots for eyes, so I don't want to see any of that. She also said, none of you are stick people. I see children with full bodies with hands and 4 fingers and a thumb. I thought on how this was true. You know how you look down at yourself to see what the matter is. I did that. I remember. She also said things like, and I don't see anyone who is the same color as the paper. Is anyone in here the same color as this paper? We all said, no, cause the paper was white, drawing paper, or, at least from the copy machine. You know how teachers do. So, she said, okay, I want to see you color the color of your skin, and not just the color on the crayon, and she picks up a black crayon and says, no one in this class is this color, right? And we all laughed, and then she said, no one is white either, as she shows us a white crayon, so choose the color that matches your skin. She also told us that she had a mirror at her desk and that we may use it to look at our eyes and see that they have eyelashes on top and some on the bottom as well, and also eyebrows, that are not just one line. So when you look close you can see that there are a lot of little hairs, so we should be sure to draw them. Also, she wanted us to look at our eye and see that our pupil is dark, and the iris has color in it too, so don't forget about that. She also went on to tell us about how we all have different hairstyles and colors of hair and not just a few stray hairs sticking up, and she put her hands over her head like she was feeling for antennas, and how we are wearing different clothes, and that we should draw the collars on our shirts and dresses and color them the way they look. I also remember she said something like, and the neck too. People's heads don't just sit on their shoulders, they have a neck, and she rubbed her hand up and down and around her neck, so as to make sure we understood that our heads are attached to our necks. Now that I am older, I understand why the teacher went through so much trouble to give us every little example of personal details to include in our own drawing. It's like, when you're a kid and your mother or father says, okay, now go wash your hands, and use water, and use soap, and rinse the soap off your hands and dry them with the towel hanging right there by the sink. Or if you have a child, and you say, did you brush your teeth? And the child says, yes. Did you use your toothbrush? And the child says, yes. Did you use toothpaste? And the child says, no. That's the reason you have to give children every step of the way. So, in doing so, my 3rd or 4th grade teacher, I'm sorry, I don't remember her name. It might have been Mrs. Kirby, but we won't say that, so as not to give out wrong credit, but I think it was Mrs. Kirby. Anyway, as I was saying, in doing so, she taught us that we were not just stick people with dots for eyes and a slit for a mouth, and when you take the time to look and be aware, you can create something unique. So, at the end of the lesson, the end of the class, or the end of the day, or whatever, like I said, I don't think we left this class except to go to lunch, and to the library, oh, and to recess too. So I'll just say, at the end, we all got to show our self-portraits to the rest of the class, and they all looked pretty much like the little person that drew it, and check this out, they all looked different too, and we were all like, ooh, oh, wow, and look at hers, it looks just like her, and all like, look at that one, and look at this one, and look at mine, and look at yours, and ooh, that one is good, and all kinds of stuff like that. That day was pretty fun, and I might go so far as to say that that class was the class that put me on the path to be an artist. I attended art school and drew some drawings of people, designing company logos and band logos and softball team mascots and band t-shirts and the occasional comic book character. One of them is called the Maniac of Destruction. Another one is like a samurai, but in modern times, and he wears blue jeans and a white t-shirt with a 7 on it, and mustard-colored caterpillar boots, and the t-shirt is always clean. He is a level 10. The level goes to 10, but the level 7 t-shirt is his favorite t-shirt, and it's always Clorox shining white. I also painted a couple more self-portraits. Then I switched to be being a musician, but I kept all the lessons that I learned in art school and applied them to making music and writing songs and playing my instrument. And when I create these sounds, I like to think that I have put my eyelashes, my antennas, my head that is attached to my neck, and my full body that is not just the color of this paper, into the music. But, unfortunately, some artists are pacified with just black and white stick figures, with dots for eyes, and a slit for a mouth, and I don't think that is very fun, and I feel that they should go back to their 3rd or 4th grade class, and get some more basic creativity training.